What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today I'm a little bit excited because I've got a new Transformers trading card game character to have a chat about with you lovely ladies and gentlemen. And, well, let's just say it. Triple changes are back. The lovely Scott Van Essen has gone and given us, well, a new spoiler. And it's Specialist Sandstorm. And it's a triple changer. Now that means that you have essentially 3 different character cards in one, as opposed to your regular Transformers card that is 2 characters in one. So what does it do? Well, one thing I want to mention right at the beginning, this is a common character. Now both the ones we saw before, Springer and Blitzwing, they were super rares. So the chances of them turning up in a sealed event were slim. You could pull them, obviously you could, but it was moderately unlikely. This is a common. If you play Sealed Wave 4, and you should, Sealed Transformers is awesome, this is actually going to turn up a little bit more commonly than you might otherwise think. So with all of that, what does it do? Well, it's an 11-star character, which on the one hand, yeah, that's kind of expensive. On the other hand, it is a triple changer, there's a lot going on, I'm sure we can forgive it. And the stats are the same in all 3 modes. 15 health, very high. 6 attack, pretty high. 1 defense, boo! We don't like that at all, ladies and gentlemen. We're not a fan. Now, if you compare that to Blitzwing, who is also an 11-star character, that means you've got higher attack, higher health, and equivalent defense. That's got 0, 1, and 2. You've got 1, 1, 1. It works out the same. If you compare it to Springer, who is a 12 cost, you've got more health, more attack, and ever so slightly lower defense. He's got 1, 1, 2. You've got 1, 1, 1. So stats-wise, you are higher than the other 2 triple changers, even though you're cheaper than one of them. We like the stats, but it's the skills here that make us really rather happy. In bot mode, when you flip to this mode, do 1 damage to an enemy specialist. That's a little bit of cheeky damage. That is a free zap. Or heavy landing if you want to go blue. That's cool. No, it's not amazing. No, it's not the most cheeky damage we've ever seen, but it does get bonus points for being cheeky damage that you get to direct. You choose where it goes, it's not up to your opponent, so they cannot choose to take it onto an Ironhide, for instance, which would be a very bad thing, because Ironhide cannot take non-attack damage. So cool. If you are in Alt Mode 1, while this is attacking a melee character, it has +2 attack. So all of a sudden we're going up to 8 attack against a melee character. 8 attack is absolutely huge. 8 attack is up there with Optimus Prime Battlefield Legend, except Optimus Prime Battlefield Legend is a 12 cost and the best character in the game. Now, to be fair, it's not just the best character in the game because it's got an attack of 8. It also allows you to play an extra action when you're attacking and recover actions when you flick into alt mode. There are many reasons it's better, but 8 attack is just phenomenal. You don't see 8 attack on regular characters very often at all. You're against a melee character, you get 8 attack, that's beautiful. And then in Alt Mode 2, while this is defending against a ranged character, you have +2 defense, so that brings your defense from 1 to 3. Defense of 3 is good. We like that. It's not amazing, it's not phenomenal. You know, Blue Streak's sitting there being like, what up boys, I've got a defense of 4 in one mode, 0 in the other, which is not quite as good. But the fact of the matter here is, if you play this correctly, you've got essentially an 8 attack, 15 health, 3 defense character. That is phenomenal. And if we look a little bit deeper, When you're in bot mode and you're doing cheeky damage to a specialist, you are a specialist. When you are in alt mode 1 and you're doing extra damage to a melee character, you are a melee character. And when you're in alt mode 2 and you're getting extra defense against a ranged character, you are a ranged character. You can also be both a car and a helicopter, although shout out to both this and Alpha Bravo as it stands at the moment, and we have not seen many of the battle cards from Wave 4 at all yet. We don't have any support for helicopters. I hope we will in the near future. There may well even be helicopter support in Wave 4. But we've not seen any yet. And motorcycles finally got Pop a Wheelie, so they got a little bit of love. And we did see that spaceships got unconventional flying objects, so they got a little bit of love. Really, the only one left at the moment is helicopters. Hopefully they'll get something soon. And what we see from Specialist Sandstorm is everything. It's a specialist and a ranged character and a melee character and a car and a helicopter that has an advantage against melee characters and ranged characters and specialists. And this really is the Transformers character, as weird as this might sound, that takes transforming to a whole new level. This is the character where we basically go, right, pick your mode. And there are going to be mind games here, ladies and gentlemen. Now, sometimes it's going to be easy. Let's say, for argument's sake, you're against Grimlock, a character with so much potential who just is not seeing the love that I want it to see. Boo, etc. Wave 1 Dinos are not good enough, we are sad, etc. In bot mode, it's a melee character. In alt mode, it's a melee character. So if you're sitting there against Grimlock, chuck yourself into alt mode 1, get yourself the extra 2 attack, and you've got more health and a higher attack than Grimlock. They've got a health of 12, you've got 15, they've got attack of 6, you've got 8. Yeah. You're good. You're absolutely good. But let's say, for argument's sake, you are against the aforementioned Optimus Prime Battlefield Legend. When they're in bot mode, they're ranged. When they're in alt mode, they're a melee. So if you stick yourself in alt mode 1 to do more damage against a melee character, they can flick into bot mode to take that away from you. Similarly, if they are in bot mode, you can go into alt mode 2 to get the +2 defense, so they can then flick into alt mode to take that away. Now the counter argument here is that Optimus Prime actually has +2 attack in bot mode, so there's no real point flicking into alt mode because it's the same deal. You lose 2 defense, but they lose 2 attacks, so it doesn't really matter. And they've got the extra attack in bot mode. Okay, fair point. How about Bumblebee Trusted Lieutenant? Let's go for that. Now, in bot mode, you are a ranged character with an attack of 6. So I'm going to go into alt mode 2 with Specialist Sandstorm. I'm going to get +2 defense. Now, they can flick into alt mode here, and they lose 1 attack, but I lose 2 defense, so they're doing a bit better. But now, all of a sudden, they've lost the bot mode skill. When you attack, you may scrap an action and draw 2 cards. And they probably want that skill. And that's what Specialist Sandstorm does. You need to try and manipulate your mode to take advantage of whatever character your opponent is playing, and they need to try and manipulate their mode, if possible, to try and mitigate your advantage. But then if they're flicking into other modes, they're going to gain or lose particular skills, which may or may not be a good thing, and that's what I adore about this character. It's got answers, but it is going to reward you for thinking ahead and for playing very carefully. Maybe you're in alt mode 2 because you're worried about a ranged character, so your opponent just brings in a melee character and you don't get the extra defense. There is a lot that can be going on here. Of course, it also benefits from cards like Rapid Conversion and Rollout, which allow you to have extra flips, which is going to be important if you really are. If you're against a deck that does a lot of different things, it could be quite important for trying to just get into the right mode for the right situation. Now, the other thing to point out here, of course, is that because you are so many different things in one, you've got so many different tricks. I mean, one of the best things here is that you can be a car. So you can attach your turbo boosters, which will untap a car and give you an extra untapped character, an extra turn or attack depending on how many characters your opponent's playing. And then you've got start your engines, which will flip you into car mode and any of your other cars, and then untap one of your cars. But you're also a ranged character, which means you can use stuff like armed hovercraft or marksmanship to get a bit of extra cheeky damage. But you're also a specialist, which means that you can use multi-tool and multi-mission gear to play extra actions and upgrades, or my personal favourite, Field Communicator, which plays a top card of your deck regardless of what it is. Reason I love Field Communicator so much is that you don't have to have the card in your hand, whereas with both multi-mission gear and multi-tool, you can play an extra card, but you got to have it in your hand at the time. Oh, but you're also a ranged character, so you can get body armor to get tough free, or power sword to get bold free. Specialist Sandstorm gives you so many options. It really is a character that's going to allow you to do an awful lot, but it is going to demand that you play it properly. It's got good stats. It's got better stats than the other triple changes. It's got good skills. And it's got 5 different traits for you to play with. Although Helicopter at the moment doesn't have any tricks, fingers crossed that changes in the future. I love Sandstorm. And I really want to see what people do with this. The possibilities are wide. And I'd like to know what you're thinking of doing with it, so let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wossy. That's where we talk about games like Transformers and anything else that takes our fancy. And do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio if you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, all that good stuff. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross and you've been watching Wossy Plays.